Hi everybody. We're going to go over the Sony mirrorless camera. It should be the A6000. And we're going to concentrate just on the menu with our focusing settings. So I'm going to hit the menu in here, and I'm going to come all the way, to the beginning little camera there. Okay. So this is more your image size settings. Please make sure image size is set to large and make sure she's set to fine so you get the best possible image from this camera. And I'm going to kind of go through it quick just to find all those little focusing settings and stuff. You can look and set your camera based on mine, but we definitely will go into that a little more detail. Your focus mode, though, we want you to be in the automatic autofocus, which is called AFA. It will be faster. She will beep for you, and it won't be as slow as AFS. AFC, that one is continuous with no beep. So we want to keep you on the AFA. Autofocus area, we want it wide. We want the illuminator set to auto, so when you're in the dark, you can see it. And we're going to leave the AF track duration for any kind of quick focusing, tracking birds, whatever it might be. We want to be in normal. ISO, we do want you to shut off the DRO, the auto HDR. This one will override your settings. So we're going to try it. And if you have any issues with exposure and being too dark, shutter speed being really, really, really slow, we want to turn this off and give you a better chance. Long exposure noise reduction, we need to turn that on. High ISO noise reduction, we need that normal. And oopsie, do turn your lock on autofocus so she will beep and she will lock on your subject when you keep that button halfway down. Your smile face detect, we'll leave that on. I didn't register any faces yet. We'll see what happens. If you want to register a face, but it should have no issue with doing the regular face detection. Skin softness, turn it on, turn it off, however you like. The auto object framing, we're going to let the camera pick its boxes in multiple. I left it in auto. I did not make a change. Let me have a look here. Yeah, we're going to leave it in the framing part because it might go for a bigger screen area, the box you'll see on the outer end, or you might actually get one single little box or multiple boxes. So I find that flexibility very nice with the Sony, letting it pick. Steady shot, definitely turn this on. In the dark, 25 for shutter speed, and I had no camera shake, and that is not normal for me. So do turn on steady shot. Auto slow shutter, we're going to leave that on. It doesn't go too slow, but between a steady shot, it's really not a bad thing at all. I'm then going to come on over here. Manual focus assist, I have mine turned on. I'm not sure, we'll just leave that over there. I'm going to experiment with that one a little bit more. It probably means that we're just going to turn the front of the lens, but once you go for autofocus, it's going to readjust it in the autofocus. So we'll just leave that on. It'll be okay. I haven't had any issues yet. Focus magnification time 2 seconds. Leave it at that. Your preview, the auto preview, she does give you a preview in that viewfinder up here. So you want to keep it to 2 seconds because then you have a 5-second delay and you have to press your picture taking button to leave that area. So 2 seconds is more than efficient and sufficient. Display continuous autofocus area. Yes, you want to do that. You want to see what boxes it's picking and what the choices are. Pre-AF, you want to turn that on. And do the digital zoom. With this lens, which is the normal 14, 16 to 40, 50, the little one that came in the kit, it will zoom to a top of a tree and get a bird. The bird feather detail will not be clear, but if you just want to know that you have a bird up there, it will be clear. The digital zoom will let you be able to identify that bird. But again, there's no real big clarity on the bird. But if you just did the detail of the tree and the leaves, and not so pinpoint like the size of a small bird, the zoom setting will give you that tree detail. and you will have that. And that's usually about the equivalent of a 200mm zoom lens. So she will let you cheat a little bit. I highly recommend going ahead and getting the 200mm lens, because then you'll just be so much more better off. Now you may have to turn the digital zoom on and off and go up to optical zoom in that case. Or if you're using the 50mm 1.8, you might want to try the optical zoom only. But for the little kit lens at 18-40, the digital zoom is okay. Just know that you're not going to get any bird detail, but you at least know that there is a bird in there, and it's somewhat clear. It's more pixelated than anything else. AEO, the shutter, we'll leave that on auto. It's kind of locking your exposure with the shutter and things. And I will experiment with that some more. Autofocus micro adjust, turn that off, because I've done some close-up stuff with it, and with the digital zoom and the focusing, the way we're setting it, it was a good thing and it is fine. I will experiment with that some more and see what happens, but right now we're gonna leave that little baby right off. And let me hit menu to go back one. We're fine here. We're fine here. We're okay here. We're okay. We're fine. We're good. Monitor brightness, leave it where you are in the manual part. And right in the, yeah, if you didn't set it up and it says set up manual, just leave it right in the middle. You'll be okay. Otherwise, if you go too bright or too dark, the camera will lie to you about the exposures. And we look okay in here. We will get into more details. Again, I am just looking for the focusing settings. So that's all the focusing settings that I've had this camera set to date. So experiment with that and you should find a lot more success rate and a lot more flexibility. If it's not successful, do go to optical, because if you are on the bigger zoom lens, it may not be able to handle it and you're going to get a lot of pixelating. So better off than just to hop to optical zoom. If you're using the 50mm 1.8, I would recommend trying the optical zoom also. Happy testing. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.